Hello everybody. Today my group and I will discuss one of the most iconic architectural landmarks in history. Located in the heart of Rome, we have the Colosseum. It is far more than just an architectural feat. Within its walls speaks a legacy of ingenuity, the cultural richness, and the complex history of one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever known. Completed in 80 AD under the rule of Emperor Titus, with the capacity to hold over 50,000 spectators, and was designed to showcase grandeur of the Roman Empire. Its innovative design, with a system of arches and concrete construction, has influenced architecture for centuries, from Renaissance cathedrals to modern stadiums. The Colosseum's ability to house such a large number of people speaks to the advanced understanding of engineering the Romans had at the time. The Colosseum is not just a marvel of architecture, it is a testament to the social and political fabric of ancient Rome. The events that took place there, from gladiator battles to mock naval battles, were more than just entertainment, and more details of these will be discussed later in the video. The games held in the Colosseum were often used for entertainment and to distract the public while still reinforcing the emperor's authority. The Colosseum also gives insights to the complex idea between entertainment, power, and society. While it is easy to view these spectacles as brutal and inhumane, this was integral in ancient Rome. They reflect the value of strength, discipline, and the celebration of life and death. The Colosseum also serves as a reminder of how societies use performance to shape identity and maintain order. So we can tell that the Colosseum is more than just a ruin. It is a symbol of Roman power, a marvel of ancient engineering, and a testament to the resilience of human civilization. It teaches us the complexities of ancient society and about the value of preserving our shared history. The Colosseum is not just important for what it was, but for what it continues to represent.
Vespasian was a Roman emperor who started the construction of the Colosseum in 70 CE. He dedicated it to the people, and he started the Flavian dynasty, which was his sons completing the Colosseum itself. Vitruvius, obviously have to mention him. He was the most cited and roughest architect of his age, and many after. He made the De Architectura, which was basically held all the classical elements of Doric and Corinthian and all that. Spartacus was a famous gladiator who came into the Colosseum, and Spartacus was a slave, as most gladiators were, and he created and organized an entire rebellion to go against the Roman Republic. He died around 30 and had 100,000 people. Commodus was an emperor who also was a gladiator. He liked to create an image for himself in the ring to gain popularity with the people, use the Colosseum as a way to kind of hype up the people in the kingdom. Flama was a gladiator known for being undefeated for 13 years. His combat abilities were legendary for many, many years, and he still holds true to his history. He performed under the reign of Hadrian, and he denied all riches.
The Roman Colosseum is an elliptical structure that spans 6 acres, reaches 160 feet into the air, and had a capacity of more than 50,000 spectators, and remains standing nearly 2,000 years after its construction. It is a technologically impressive structure that captures the advancements made by the Romans and displays developments new to the world at the time, including many that may not meet the eye immediately. For example, the city planning and restructuring alone shows the technological abilities of the era. Emperor Vespasian wanted the Colosseum built in the center of the city, which was exactly where the handmade lake in Nero's palace was held. 26-foot drains had to remove water from the lake, while concrete circular foundations were placed under the outer walls and inner ellipse. Further, the ground level was raised 23 feet out of the valley of the city to accommodate the amphitheater. The amount of expertise that went into planning the project is one of the main contributors to why it is still standing today. The construction process required close conversation between designers, planners, unskilled laborers, and specialized jobs. Travertine building blocks were transported from a quarry in Tivoli, 20 miles away. These travertine blocks were precisely shaped and placed so that the perimeter of the ellipse amphitheater was perfectly encapsulated by 80 equal arches. The Roman concepts of proportion and symmetry were of utmost importance. The ellipse followed a precise 5:3 ratio, and the width of the arena, the width of the auditorium, and the height of the exterior were equal proportions, showcasing the accuracy of Roman technology. Of course, one cannot appreciate the technology behind the Colosseum without highlighting the phenomenon of the Roman arch. To construct each arch, laborers created a wooden frame in the shape of an arch, then placed the stonework around it. The keystone on top would lock the arch into shape and transfer the load down through the arch. The effect of repeated arches in the Colosseum is one of openness, and the 80 arches of the ground floor were each an entrance to the building. This significantly helped the Colosseum be able to accommodate as many spectators as it did at the time.
Now I'm going to be talking about the influence on the production of the Colosseum. So the first thing that we saw was the political influence. The project was commissioned by the Emperor of Rome, and he used this as a political tool, and he used it in a way that could represent his dominance as a ruler. They also used this construction as a way to gain popularity amongst the large Roman Empire. When you have a spectacle like this being built, obviously it's going to draw eyes to that, and as a ruler, you would want your name attached to that. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the social influence. The social influence can be easily understood. By providing the community with the ginormous space of entertainment is a great social benefit. It draws people toward you as a ruler, and it draws people toward your empire as well. And when the spectators got there, they were blessed with being able to watch gruesome and brutal battles that were so common and so popular at this time. The third thing I'm going to talk about is the cultural influence. In terms of religion, the entertainment was usually held to honor either a god or the military. So the religion being so popular at this time, this was a huge idea for the commissioners of this project, as they knew that they could reach that group of spectators as well. This also helped determine the identity of the Roman culture because it emphasized the power and dominance that the Roman Empire desired. The final thing that I'm going to speak about is the economical influence. The creators of this project were extremely wealthy because of all the recent success they had seen as rulers. They believed that constructing the Colosseum would allow for more job opportunities for people of all skill levels. Whether you were skilled and rich or unskilled and poor, there was a job for you. This would help the economy tremendously. And finally, whether the creators knew it or not, this amazing art is now a tourist destination, with people traveling all over the world to come see this project. Economic benefits are still supporting the country of Italy to this day.
What can we take from the Colosseum and its architecture, and what's our opinion on its relevance today? Besides being central to the Roman culture and the Roman architecture in general, there is a detail that we can take to adapt and use for today's architecture, which is the longevity of the building in general. The Colosseum is a building that's been standing up for 100 years now. Parts of its structures still function very well. And I will say a little bit about the relationship of this with sustainability. How can a long-lasting building helps with sustainability? First of all, the environmental impact, its resource efficiency, because you reduce the frequency of demolition and reconstruction, and in that way you use less materials, you reduce waste, and you also use less energy because you need fewer repairs and less energy to maintain. Also, the economic benefits, it's cost efficient. You don't need to repair, you don't need to maintain this a lot, in opposition to buildings that don't think about this longevity. And also the adaptability of it. If you think of creating these structures that are sustainable and very durable, you can think of ways of adapting the zone for many different purposes. So thinking about the Colosseum and other buildings for the Roman era, like the Pantheon, for example, how solid the structure is and how they didn't think of those spaces as temporary is something that we could probably use on our architecture from today's time as a part of sustainability, not only being energy and ecological thinking, but also how durable and how long do we want a building to stay functioning.
The Colosseum features all three classical orders of columns arranged vertically: Doric on the ground level, Ionic on the second level, Corinthian on the third level, and also the pilasters above. This layering demonstrates the Romans' appreciation of Greek aesthetics while showcasing their own innovations. For arches and vaults, semicircular arches dominate the facade in the first and second tiers of the Colosseum, providing both structural strength and aesthetic rhythm. There are also barrel vaults and groin vaults, which were employed throughout the interior to distribute weight and enable efficient crowd movement. Lastly, concrete and stone. Roman concrete was crucial in constructing the Colosseum's massive structure. The limestone was used for the outer facade and load-bearing structures, and there were also other little materials used like marble, bricks, tiles, tuff, and so forth for little detail. Moving on to engineering and functional elements, amphitheater design, an oval shape allowing optimal sightlines for spectators. Seating tiers reflect Roman social hierarchy, with the elites closest to the arena and the commoners seated higher. For hypogeum, the underground complex of tunnels and chambers house animals, gladiators, and stage machinery, enabling elaborate spectacles. For velarium, a retractable awning system that provided shade for spectators, which was also an innovative feature for its time. Efficient access, 80 numbered entrances allowed up to 50,000 to 80,000 spectators to enter and exit swiftly. There were also staircases and corridors, ensured smooth crowd flow. Next, we have stylistic period, imperial grandeur. Built during the Flavian dynasty under emperors Vespasian and Titus, it symbolized the power of generosity of the empire. Its scale and ornamentation reflected Rome's dominance and the emperor's commitment to public works. For cultural purpose, the Colosseum epitomized bread and circuses, showcasing grand games to entertain and appease the populace. Next, we have symbolic and decorative features. For facade ornamentation, statues and decorative shields were once placed in the niches of the arches, which enhanced its visual impact. For iconography, the design integrated Roman values of order, hierarchy, and spectacle, showcasing the unity of engineering and art. And then finally, to wrap it up, the Colosseum is a masterpiece of Roman architecture that embodies the principles of classical design while innovating for practical and monumental purposes. Its synthesis of aesthetic form of functional engineering makes it a timeless icon.